kicking off the summer special indoors here at the EAA Museum right here in Oshkosh. I'm here with our very good friend Dick Napinski from EAA, here to tell us all about the upcoming AirVenture fly-in this year. So Dick, thanks so much for meeting us out here today.
My pleasure, as always.
So we have tons to talk about. I know we could go on for about an hour with everything we have to say. But first, we're standing in front of a really special plane here in the museum. Maybe you can just give us some background on that before we dig into AirVenture.
This is a special airplane. This is a North American P-51 Mustang. It was owned and flown by our founder, Paul Poberezny, hence Paul 1 on the side. He flew this in air shows throughout the 80s and even into the 90s before he retired from air show flying. And he always said it was one of his favorite airplanes. A lot of power, a lot of speed, a lot of noise, and anybody who's heard a P-51 Mustang fly, they'll tell you they know what that engine sounds like. It sounds like nothing else in the world.
Oh, how cool. So what a perfect place to do the AirVenture interview here for Oshkosh Today.
It really is.
So first off, tell us, what are the dates this year for AirVenture? And maybe just give us a little overview of what exactly it all consists of.
Okay, this year we're going July 25th through the 31st at Whitman Regional Airport once again. We'll have more than 10,000 airplanes coming to the area. 500,000 of our closest friends will all be here, including a lot from the Oshkosh area. And everybody who's been in Oshkosh knows this is kind of the big event of the summer. It is the big one. It brings the world to Oshkosh. More than 80 countries are represented. We have more than 800 exhibitors coming, air shows every single day, a couple of them at night again, and a long, long list of highlights in 2016.
Just amazing. And it's a month's worth of stuff packed into a week, really. You can just, there's so much to see and do. And it is all over the world. People coming, you go to the grocery store and you hear 3 different languages being spoken while you're trying to do your shopping. So it's a really cool thing to bring a lot of people to Oshkosh, and everybody looks forward to it every year. First off, there's usually a concert to kick off the whole week. Who's the headliner this year?
Well, coming up on Monday night, July 25th, we have Third Eye Blind playing right after the air show. Big favorite, lots of hits through the 1990s. They'll be here. We have bands throughout the week. Survivor will be playing on Tuesday night. We have a swing band for our 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor on Wednesday night. It's an all-women group out of Madison called Ladies Must Swing. Coming up on Friday night with our Veterans Day, we have Big Bad Voodoo Daddy returning. They were here 2 years ago, put on a great show. And then Saturday, Ford Motor Company helps us out a little bit, and they have a Journey tribute band called Journey Unauthorized. And so we're looking forward to having them here before the night air show on Saturday night. So there's a lot of music going on right after the afternoon air show every day.
A lot of music to look forward to. And you mentioned the Pearl Harbor anniversary. That's going to be a major theme throughout the week this year. Tell us a little bit about that and what we can expect about it.
It is. Pearl Harbor Day is 75th anniversary this year, December 7th, 1941. Changed history as we know it in America. And so we're bringing in many of the aircraft that were involved in that. There's an air show group called Tora Tora Tora, which flies both Japanese and American aircraft in air show and has the full pyrotechnic package. They will be performing throughout the week, including just before the night air show on Wednesday, so people should be looking for that. In addition, a very unique airplane. It's a small aircraft, an Interstate Cadet from 1941. This airplane was flying above Oahu on a private flight lesson that day when the entire air forces of the Japanese Navy went by them on the way to Pearl Harbor. That airplane still exists. It's going to be at Oshkosh this year. The people who own it have a presentation that goes with that, what was going on that day and so forth. So that's something special. We have the lead historian, Daniel Martinez from the Pearl Harbor National Monument, coming here. He'll be talking about the war, its after effects, how it affects not only American society, but the world at large, what happened in the ensuing 4 years because of World War II. So that's just one anniversary that we have this year, but a very, very important one at AirVenture.
Yes, well, it sounds fascinating. A lot of great things to learn about and see. And like you said, a lot of anniversaries. Another one is the Boeing's 100th anniversary.
Yep, Boeing Aircraft, the people that make the 747s and the 737s, and probably most of the airliners that you fly on throughout America, they'll be here. So that means we'll have a lot of big airplanes coming in. We will have from Cathay Pacific, we'll have a 747 landing at the end of the week. On Wednesday, we'll have an Alaskan Airlines 737, an all-female crew with 100 female employees from Alaska Airlines coming in. They'll be here for Women Venture Day on the 27th. So that will be here. They'll be enjoying that day. We also have a FedEx 767 freighter coming in.
Those are awesome.
And we have the Boeing Stearman trainers from the World War II era, the biplanes that were used to train thousands of military pilots, and so they're having a gathering this year. So 100 years of Boeing means a lot. B-29s, B-17s, some of the great warbirds that were built by Boeing, they'll be here as well.
Very cool. And then, of course, we've got some more history with a very, very old plane that is actually still flying. Tell us about is it called the Havoc?
The A-20 Havoc is a warbird.
Yes.
That one is from the World War II era, and it'll be one of 300 warbirds.
Yes.
Yep. And but we have more than 300 warbirds coming back this year. It is the world's largest annual gathering of warbirds, vintage military aircraft, any place in the world. You can see it right here on the flight line. But getting back to the airplane you were talking about, a 1909 Curtiss Pusher. We have a 1911 version in the museum. It almost looks like the Wright Flyer with an engine on the back and a seat up front, and that's it. And this airplane still flies. It'll be coming here. It will be leading off a group of airplanes from the World War I era, celebrating the centennial of World War I aviation. The Curtiss Pusher was used as a very early military aircraft for the U.S. It later evolved into some of the aircraft you'll see in the World War I centennial salute that we'll have. And we'll have 6 of those airplanes here. They'll be flying each day, and you'll have a chance to see those great old airplanes in the air as well.
Wow, so much to see. We've got a couple more things. The Coast Guard, there's going to be a ton of Coast Guard planes and helicopters and everything here.
It will be. It's the centennial of Coast Guard aviation. So they're bringing airplanes, they're bringing helicopters, they're bringing a lot of things. We said, what can you bring? We're going to try to bring one of everything. And so it will be painted in the traditional old Coast Guard colors of yellow and black on the side of theirs. They have special centennial paint this year for those aircraft. They'll be bringing them in. The Coast Guard has designated AirVenture as one of their official centennial events. So they'll be bringing all those airplanes here. The Commandant of the Coast Guard will be here, some of their historians talking about the Coast Guard and what they do.
And the last thing I need to give a teaser for is something I saw a Facebook teaser on a video. This massive airboat. Is it the world's largest airboat or airplane, boat plane? What exactly is this?
It is the world's largest flying boat. It's called the Martin Mars. There are 2 left of them in the world. And there aren't many airplanes that we say, it's never been to Oshkosh. This one has never been to Oshkosh. It is a fire bomber. It's used to put out fires in the western United States and Canada. It can pick up a ton of water a second when it flies by. It'll pick up 7,200 gallons of water and then drop it over a 4-acre area. We hope to have that demonstration here. It has no landing gear. It will be parked on Lake Winnebago near our seaplane base because it won't fit in the seaplane base.
Oh my gosh.
It has a wingspan of a 747. It is a mammoth airplane, and it'll be something no one has ever seen at Oshkosh before. And it's part of kind of a Canadian group that's coming down because we have a very special Canadian team coming to fly this year as well.
Very cool. And those are the snowbirds, yes. And so many things. And like I said, we could go on forever, but those are just a few of the sneak peeks that we're giving people before the week of AirVenture. But it's important to note that this is a family-friendly event. There's a lot for, all ages. What are some of the things that kids might be interested in?
Sure. Along with the air shows and all the airplanes to see, and a lot of the airplanes, especially the military ones, are open for tours. You can bring the family through that. They'll have the troops on the ground to explain what the airplane does and how they use it. But then we have the Kid Venture area. Last year, 25,000 kids went through this area. Right behind the museum, they can have everything from building a model airplane, building a model rocket. They have simulators, flight simulators they can try. All of these things can take place, and they have people there to help the kids, help families put them together. They'll have something to take home with them when they leave AirVenture, and hopefully learn a little bit about aviation and maybe get enthused about flying themselves.
Yes, that's something that's so cool about AirVenture too, is you go to this massive event and you don't even realize how much you're learning and how educational it is because it's just so cool and so fun. So many things to look forward to. We can find a lot more about the details and everything and the schedule on the website, which is
www.eaa.org. Just go to the AirVenture tab. It's all right there.
Yes, so we can get tickets, find out more about different demonstrations, air show times, concert times, everything, as well as the Facebook page, which you guys are posting a lot of really cool teaser videos and photos and everything on there too.
And we're going to keep doing that right up till opening day and through the week, Emily.
Yes, well, we're so much looking forward to it. One more time, why don't you give us the dates of the EAA AirVenture?
Okay, July 25th through the 31st, go to EAA.org, hit hit the AirVenture tag, see all the schedules, buy your tickets in advance. If you want to come out and camp, we'd love that too.
Wonderful. Well, Dick, thank you so much for having us out here today. We're so much looking forward to it, and I'll see you out at AirVenture.
Sounds good. Thanks, Emily.
Oshkosh Today was supported in part by the Friends of OCM. And Aurora Healthcare, 855 Northwest Haven Drive. Set design provided by House of Flowers, 1920 Algoma Boulevard. Oshkosh Today.